What are your spiritual gifts? Are your gifts waiting to awaken within you? Um, do you know a spiritual awakening will empower you to move from surviving in your life to thriving in your life?
Welcome to the Angelscapes podcast, where you're encouraged to uncover and develop a direct connection with your soul's power, wisdom, and spiritual intuition that is ready to blossom. We'll explore new ideas, compelling tips, and real steps to help you learn simple spiritual practices. We're a safe place to learn more about accessing your soul's power with education and spiritual wholeness that could bring more clarity to your life. Now here's your host, a practicing medium, Akashic Records practitioner, spirit artist, coach, and mentor, Dr. Reverend Nancy Smith.
Hello and welcome to Angelscapes. I'm your host, Nancy Smith, and I'm your guide to living a soul-powered life. Joining me in this episode is Elaine Yuen. She's an intuitive coach who empowers her clients to find confidence in self-love. And as you guys know, I always say the first place to start a spiritual path is with self-love. So Elaine and I are on the same page. So I'm really excited to have her. Her spiritual awakening began with her twin flame journey, and she's going to tell us a little bit about that. Sounds really fascinating, and how she was activated to live a divinely guided path, and how she stayed on that divinely guided path. She is a coach, a mentor. She is here to help many people. So welcome, Elaine. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thanks, Nancy, for having me. I'm so excited about this, and I know off the recording we talk about. I just love the thumbnail. It's very angelic, so I just want to make that comment again. Right.
Oh, yeah, it's my pleasure to make these. So what we're going to do is, I think we're going to start with talking about your own spiritual awakening and this twin flame journey, which I'm wanting to hear about. I know that the listeners always are looking for what can I do? Who else has done this? Am I out of my mind? Am I crazy? And when I saw you write this in your bio and talk to me about it, I said, this is the perfect place to start. Anytime you have somebody who's helping another person through coaching or whatever anyone is choosing to do, mediumship, I find that those people have had some difficulties in their lives that they had to overcome, and they become very motivated and inspired to help other people. But so, what's your story, Elaine?
Sure. Yeah, maybe I should explain a little bit. So the turning point of my life is when I encountered my twin flame at the start of COVID. So my defining point of my life, it's before my awakening, it's my old self. And then after the awakening, after I encountered my twin, and then activated my whole spiritual journey as the divine feminine of the twin flame, my life has never been the same. So maybe just for the audience purposes, I know, Nancy, you have a good lineup of the really psychic and different supernatural talented people, and I'm actually quite happy that there's no one has talked about twin flame. So maybe I can touch base a bit. So twin flame, it's actually one soul, so one spirit, one soul, reincarnated twice.
Oh,
So actually, the same soul in two human bodies, right?
oh my
So
goodness,
yeah,
yeah,
there
that's
there
got to
could be
be a
many
challenge. Yeah.
reincarnation. Yeah, it's just yeah, it's odd. And I at the time we encounter it was a short, very out of worldly experience, and I didn't aware at that time. But usually, like most of the twin flame, um, they have a short period once they come into contact. There's a short period of like very blissful,
Mhm.
in the conditioning of the romantic story, very lovey-dovey. Um, and then after that, there will be a separation, because that's the whole point of the twin flame journey. And I'm going to drop the bombshell to a lot of people who fantasize about, oh, where can I look for my twin flame? And my suggestion is like a lot of people who went through the twin flame journey, it was a very painful journey.
Oh,
So most people will, if somebody asks like Nancy, where can I find my twin? We know that person does hasn't met the twin flame, because most of the people who went through the journey will respond saying, really? Do you really want to do that? Because I think that's a misconception, people thinking about it. But after that, we separated, and that's activated my painful yet very rewarding and beautiful journey of finding myself again in self-love and confidence. And Twin Flame has a divine feminine
mm,
energy, one person, so to speak, one person embody that divine feminine energy. Then the other one, it's divine masculine energy.
oh,
Yeah. And then two energy pull back and forth. So there's usually people call it the runner and chaser dynamic. So
okay.
after there's a usually it's the divine feminine. Like, I'm not stereotyping, but most of the cases is divine feminine is the one who actually eventually came out and do the work. Um, so a lot of twin flamed situation, they may not come to reunion. Like, the whole idea is
Okay.
separated, you do work on your own, but we're not looking at the fantasy version of it. The whole idea is it doesn't make a huge difference as to everyone has a spiritual awakening. There's a door frame, right? Some people have like
Mhm.
life and death situations, some people have different situation, but it's just a truly spiritual journey. And yeah, so I think very rare cases people have a union maybe after many lifetimes of evolution, but the whole idea is you after the separation you work on yourself, and that's a whole journey that
Absolutely.
reflected back to you that and probably you have a lot of and probably it was badly treated by the twin as well, because that's the shadow or mirror part of me that triggers all the stuff that I need to look at, that I have been running away and
Yeah.
avoiding before the awakening. So does that give you
Boy,
a good concept?
that gives me yeah, I have a couple questions. I was curious,
Sure.
if you are the same soul, but
Hmm.
you've split somehow, or you same soul in different bodies.
Yeah, you
You
reincarnated twice.
yeah.
So
So but every time your soul has a purpose, it has something that it's meant to learn, it's meant to do.
mhm,
So in a way, I can kind of understand why you're not meant to be together, because when in relationships, we're mirrors to each other. We show each other what we need to work on,
mhm.
or whatever we're going to show each other, what challenge each other. But I think a twin, that would be really interesting to have a twin flame connection. But you say that it's not meant to last for the rest of your life.
Well, most of the cases, I won't say it was meant to last, because twin flame, it's the ultimate love journey. But it's as we have worked through now, I'm at the stage that I actually broke free from my twin, because there was a very painful period that you were
Mhm.
entangled together. So your energy was being pulled by the other party a lot, and that's why that's all this learning experience. You have to
Mhm.
be stay grounded and love yourself, and because there's a period
Absolutely.
of because it actually re-trigger all the wounds that you have. So you're actually focusing on the other party, and then you're losing your balance, and then all you do is obsessively thinking about this other person,
Yeah.
right? So it's a whole spiritual awaken journey, and some people may come to union, but that's not the point. At the end, people who went through that journey finally realize that the person that we're looking at in your life is yourself.
It's absolutely, yeah,
The best lover
exactly.
you're looking at is your life,
Is
is
you.
yourself,
Yeah,
So
absolutely. So you opened up your path to the divine feminine, and you talk about becoming the chosen one. Does that mean you're choosing yourself, or what does that mean?
yeah, that's actually very good story. So maybe I'll touch base a little bit about my
Yeah.
childhood story, because it's actually a shift from the underdog to the chosen one.
Oh, let's do it.
Right. So before my awakening, I'm pretty much an underdog, that feeling heavily unseen, unheard, invisible. And why I like that is another title of me is the generational trauma breaker, or generational
Oh
pattern
yeah.
breaker.
Oh,
So
I get that.
right? And that's why
Yeah.
my story needs to be heard by a lot of people because
Mhm.
it's really not the twin flame part. Like when I try to tell people twin flame stories, some people couldn't understand. I was like so worried in the beginning. It's like, who am I? People think I'm
Mhm.
going crazy, but the underlying effect is like I went through like a pretty bad childhood trauma, went through all the emotional neglect. I
Mm.
grew up in a dysfunctional family, so I'm the black sheep, scapegoat, and I was prohibited to speak the truth because the for some reason my whole life journey is people like to put me in an illusion.
Yeah.
And when you speak the truth in an illusioned
Yeah.
environment, it's actually being people targeted you in some way. So the underdog. So that's why it's the underdog because after you're being born, we're a blank piece of paper, but then as people try to write stuff on your blank piece of paper, like your
Mhm.
parents, the society, all this conditioning, then you were told that you're not good enough. You were told you're undeserving. And then obviously me being the confidence coach, it, my confidence heavily under attack. And very spiritual term is because I'm the chosen one. So whole my lifetime whole through there, people try to dim my light. And
Yes.
for some reason, people like to keep me possessed and serving whatever the emotional needs. And I haven't been or I wasn't allowed to shine. So I wasn't allowed to show up as my true self. People like to mold me into something they like and keep me keep me hidden,
I know. It's such a
right?
painful place to be. On the other hand, it's so many people are in that situation.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's, that's actually and that's and the reason why I have to speak up for these people is because it's always like struggling in silence. Who is going to come out like me speaking about the family situation? I'm even worried about if my family are watching this episode, they're not going to be pleased. But that's my soul calling. That's my mission that I have to speak about something that people are avoiding and not talk about and unhealthy situation normalized as normal. So that's the underdog. And obviously with the spiritual awakening, my blindfold is off. So, the universe has taken off the blindfold, and I start
Mhm.
seeing the truth, seeing, the people around me. And then I went through a journey of deep healing those emotional wounds, and then come back to myself, and then reclaim my confidence, reclaim my self-love. And I have to walk away with a lot of people, including my family, and then a lot of people that I've known for a long time in my life, because some of these people in my life, obviously they're in blocking my purpose, but also they are not
Yeah.
allowed me to be myself. So I cannot hang around with people that,
No.
cannot accept who I am. And finally, what's important for the chosen one, because the chosen one is a very spiritual term. Like if you're in a spiritual community, they will talk about the chosen one. It's, oh, you're the anointed one, seems like very egotistic. But this is not the point. The chosen one is what I meant to inspire people is the moment you choose yourself, you are the chosen one.
I love that. I love
Right.
that. Yes, right, right. Yeah. And nobody can take that away from you because you made the choice.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were conditioned, and a lot of people need to hear that. And it's easier talk than done, right? Because you're dealing with people that probably have a hold on you. And
Hmm.
especially when we deal with empath, people have a big heart. Your soft spots can be easily manipulated and taken care of. And I mean the people who can take advantage of you, unfortunately, could be some of those people that who are closest to you,
Yeah. Yeah.
that they know your button, and they may have dealing with their own pain and hurt. They haven't have a chance to reflect or work on themselves. So
Yeah. Well, and you said as you choose yourself.
mhm.
I have a question that I kind of been playing with because you said when you I hope you can answer this.
Yep.
When you were the twin flame, you carried the feminine aspect, and the other one carried the masculine aspect. Is there any time in your life now where you have reclaimed the masculine and the feminine within yourself? Has that been part of your journey at all?
Oh, thank you for bringing this up. That's exactly what I help my client to do that,
Okay.
because in my past self, I'm in, and that's why I'm helping with a lot of the ladies who are hustlers, overachievers, overgivers. They show up in their professional identity or even in their life. It's overly masculine energy. So that's the whole point of the twin flame journey is we are actually one whole body ourselves. So we at the end we are reclaiming the masculine and feminine part and have a balanced both energy. So you optimize your the most powerful self. So yes, I do like I myself reclaim my feminine part, and then that's what I'm helping people to get them out of the shell.
Good,
Because when you
good.
operate in overly masculine, you're overly logical, you're overly chasing, focus on outcomes, and then your heart is you're basically ignoring your heart and your desire. And
Yeah,
right, it's very different, but if you balance it, and but also there talk about there's certain energy wounded. So there could be like a healthy masculine energy, which is structured, um, right, action taker. But
right,
the
right,
wounded masculine energy could be like, you're overly controlling,
right.
egotistic, possessive,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Right.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, so the whole point of the twin flame journey is each twin flame should be coming into the balance.
I love
And
that.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because you cannot look outside of you for something, a person, things, or whatever to complete you. We are whole by ourselves.
Mhm.
That's the painful lesson we learned at the end.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. I feel like I've heard so much about the sacred feminine and not a lot about the sacred masculine. So I'm kind of like I'm on a mission here to find to find who is that? What is that masculine energy that is meant as the creator meant it to be kind of thing.
It's kind of rare because if you look at feminine, the divine feminine, it's more like the 5D version of us. And the masculine represents the earthly matters, the materials.
Hmm.
So a lot of situation that the feminine evolve and the masculine kind of just stuck at the 3D level and
Yeah.
repeating the karmic lessons. And but so is the feminine has to learn, and that's this. I'm at this stage right now, ready to take the leap to materialize my spiritual 5D self and make it happen in the
Absolutely.
3D self. And
Absolutely.
that's my
Yeah.
purpose to show it to the people, telling them that because a lot of when I start, I have a lot of like, people couldn't comprehend what spirituality is, right? Like I may call it like spiritual haters, but they easily can demonize something, not within the comprehension. But my right now I'm at a pivotal point. I'm ready to fly and I'm ready to take on my life to a level that can show people that if you master your 3D, 5D self, you can make it a thriving life. You can prosper. You're allowed to enjoy an abundance. But that goes back to my underdog story that I think I forgot to mention that. Maybe I'll touch base what the significance matter. When I was a child, my mom took me to watch a movie. The movie is based on a famous novel. It's called Oliver Twist. So I'm not
Oh.
sure you have heard
Oh
about it.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised because I was telling some other people they don't know. I'm like, how can you? This is such a famous, well-known. So Oliver Twist, for the audience purpose, is an abandoned child,
Yeah. So sad.
right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
went through all this oppression, bullying, and then in the orphanage, he always got the short end of the stick. So he is the primal symbol of, uh, you know, that he's surviving and struggling. And the famous line of that movie is Oliver Twist asked for more.
Yes. More,
S-
please. I'm
Right.
hungry. Yeah.
So after watching the movie, I went up to my mom and I told her I'm Oliver Twist. So I was a little kid at that time,
Oh.
and why would I
Oh.
think I'm Oliver Twist? Because I grew up in a complete family.
Yeah.
Like on the outside, it's beautiful. Like I'm not
No. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't have like a single parent family. But then later on in my journey, I actually found out that my dad was the abandoned kid, which a family secret that I never know about.
Oh.
And that ties into my whole experience of being emotional neglected and that's why I felt so abandoned all through my
Oh.
life, even
Yeah.
though I do have a complete family. So that incident, that all which was is it's a significant event because Oliver Twist lived in an era that he was told that you're not good enough. You can only have one bowl. You don't have the right to ask for more. And that's my message, being the underdog to the masses of people, because I was being unseen, but now need to be seen by a lot of people, that you can ask for a second bowl. You definitely deserve more. You don't have to live up to what people tell you, that you're only good for this little box or shell. So that's a little
Right.
story.
I love that. I love that. You have the right to ask for more, and you yes, ask for more. That's a big deal. I totally can relate to that in that I was the oldest of 9 kids. Can you imagine? What was
Wow.
Well, we were passing the bowl around, what was left in the bowl after the end of the at the dinner table. But I had to learn as an adult later to ask for what I want. It was
Right,
very uncomfortable. It's still very uncomfortable.
right.
But asking for what you want is a step in self-love. And that opens the door to all kinds of miracles happening, which is, what you're talking about here. It's very exciting. You talk about spiritual warfare. I bet you this is
Hmm.
related. So
Right,
when you're, who's at war with who?
right. That's why I love to be on a spiritual podcast. I can talk about all the spiritual concepts with other podcasters. They're like, "What are you talking about?" Spiritual warfare, it's actually a battle of the mind. And I think with the religious people, that's some of the terms they use it as well, like,
Mhm.
the evil, or, versus the angel, or, the light versus dark. But really, it's really a battle of the mind. And spiritual warfare, it's basically all through my life. So the people that have me in a spiritual warfare, I have my family, all the friends, or all the people. So those are the subtle mind game that they are keeping you small, keeping
Mhm.
you light. And also part of it, it's also internal as well, your own inner demon. So the spiritual warfare, it has a lot to do with angel, actually, because it out of this spiritual warfare, we're being tested by the universe, and we have to come against people try to keep us small and allow our own light to shine. And a lot of people mistaken angels are those little cute babies. They're actually not. Right? We all know angels are
Right.
actually warrior. They're spirit warrior, right?
Warriors.
So
Yes.
after the spiritual warfare, once you overcome all this, you evolve into a soul which is strong,
Yeah.
right? And universe usually reward people with strong, with a lot of wisdoms, and that's how it's just, if people that they have not spiritually awakened, it's hard to grab that concept. But
Yep.
once you awaken, your conscious level are high, your third eye is open, you see things very differently,
Differently.
right? So you tends to see the world now like, oh, I have all these people who, kind of like
Exactly. Yeah.
holding my soul back or whatever, right? But
Yeah.
normal people, they just look at with their two eyes. Um,
And what
and
they want and what they're afraid of, and they're projecting it all over you, and that's hence keeping everyone around them hostage
right,
from their own insecure, whatever it is, fear, anger,
right.
insecurities, and people around them can't develop and grow
Yeah,
if they allow that, if those people around them allow that to happen. Yeah,
right. But we all learned like not to be too negative. Like
yeah,
we all know that we sign up for the contract. And people who
yeah,
engage us in a spiritual warfare probably is just one of my best friend helped me to ascend in
yeah.
my soul
Through your
journey.
teachers, yeah,
Yeah, our teachers, that's right. Exactly. So my twin and my parents and all the people that I have to walk away, they're my greatest teachers in my life. Because I always preach to the people that I'm not a person who read a lot of books. So most of my wisdoms come from life lesson. And, it turns out some of these people are the greatest teachers of my life that
absolutely.
makes me
Yeah,
competent today. So yeah.
absolutely. I want to take just a really short and to tell you guys who are listening that Elaine can be found at Elaine Yuen, it's Yuen, ElaineYuenConfidence.com, and you can make it an appointment with her to talk with her, and find out more of how she helps people and what she does to get you on that pathway to finding that self-love and that confidence. So let's continue on, Elaine, to talk about your spiritual tools and in coaching. And you know what? I'm really curious to know. You've got somebody in the middle of war. They're coming in, they're surviving, and they've got this one and they got that one, and everybody is taking them down. What are the tools that you use? What's
Great.
maybe the first tool?
I love to share because that's what the audience is here for, so they can have some takeaways. Now, I need to put on my disclaimer a little bit first before I go into the tips. I think I want to stress one point is all those little tips will help, but if you want real transformation, needs deep inner work. So needs more devotion on a deep self-discovery. But I love to share what the tips I can help. So and another disclaimer I just want to say is whatever tips I'm sharing, I would encourage the audience to have this discernment. It's not one
Absolutely.
one size fit all approach. You really have to listen to yourself. Okay, Elaine, walk me through those tips. Which one that speaks to my soul?
Hmm.
Which one that I'm feeling it, as opposed to, because it works for me doesn't mean it works for you. Your soul has a different, or your heart has a very different requirement. So I'm going to talk about my first one that I really love it. Is spiritual bath. I absolutely love it because I have a hard time working out. So this is advice, especially for the BC lady people, and don't have the time to go to gym. I find spiritual bath. After I took it, I have an instant vibrational shift. Like I feel very high vibrational after, and especially when we are so hard and so busy on our body. And with the spiritual bath, you can tack it on with like, take a quick shower and then go in. I have my little candle with me, so very sensual. So that's
Hmm.
where you can come into your body and the feminine energy, and especially and you can combine it with ritual. You put on the salt bath as well, so that helps from a spiritual perspective,
Oh,
the
nice.
purification and cleansing, some of the negative energy release. And sometimes I bring like a crystal with me, so it depends on what my need that day. If I want to be more heart based, I'll bring in my pink crystal. But if I feel like, oh, that day I'm more intense, I need to release some shadow, I'll bring in my moonstone with me just beside me. Um,
Nice.
yeah, and then the whole process is I actually also talk to my body, different parts, so that to give the loving energy, like and then
Okay.
confess, like, I'm sorry, I overwork you, but I do love you and I want to express. And I think that's very important because it's an outward expression to yourself, to your own inner child, and also to the universe
Hmm.
that you're really loving yourself.
Hmm.
You are high value, and that's why that's the time you embrace your inner child, and that's the self-love part. So but at the same time I love it because I'm also a immersive guided meditation facilitator and coach as well. That's my other immersive line
Hmm.
that I offer. And during the spiritual bath, I can meditate a bit too, right? I can close my eyes. So that's the moment you spend your time with your soul, and you can have your spirit guide teams with you, and have a little short meeting.
Yes.
And that's what I do sometimes as well. So that's my first recommendation. Um, the other one, because Nancy, you will find me that my tips are kind of more practical. Like
I love that.
it's not the
Yeah.
all life love
Yeah.
and light woo woo.
Oh
I ask
no.
you to meditate 4 hours,
Yeah.
or go to like for a yoga class. No, because we are busy people, so we got to make it practical.
Yeah.
So the other one I want to talk about is energy reset. And I think that's key. It's when you have your busy day.
Mhm.
I think to give a break during sort of the middle of the day to reset your energy, it's very important because usually your energy is going downhill for the afternoon. So, it's not good that because usually in the morning we're all busy. Um, and I find it especially rewarding because with my guided meditation teacher, she has like a meditation group. So sometimes around lunchtime, I just, go in there for like a 20 minutes like session that everybody's like meditate together. And for the busy lady, you can do that. If you can go out to a meeting room or whatsoever, just have some solitude time,
Hmm.
close your eyes, and even better, maybe go out, take a walk or connect with, I don't know, walk out to the park or something so you can
Yeah.
reset your energy,
Yeah. Yeah.
clear your mind, and then just refocus. So you
Hmm.
have the energy to get going in the afternoon. And even if you cannot do that, you're really busy. Even sitting on your desk, just close your eyes
Oh yeah.
and take a couple of deep breaths, because when we're tense, we tends to do like shallow breathing, and it's
Hmm.
the posture are all wrong, and that's why we got all this neck pain. So it's a just take like a couple moments, just refocus back on your body, and then take a couple deep breaths so you have some energy flow,
Hmm.
and then that will clear your mind and you have clarity, and then get you going for the afternoon, especially if you have important meetings in the afternoon, right? You can show up in
Absolutely.
your best energy and with
Yeah.
with the clarity, and that's the most important thing.
I'll tell you a story. When I worked as corporate, I worked corporate. It was very busy, hectic,
Right.
lots of projects, lots of small parts, moving parts, and
Mm.
I would forget to go to the bathroom, and I would be wound up, and I would go to the bathroom, run in and run out, and sometimes people would follow me into the bathroom, asking me more questions,
Oh gosh.
until I figured out that when I ever had to go, I had to make sure I watched the clock to make sure that I was getting up, and I would walk up 2 flights of stairs to the bathroom on the other side of the building so I could sit in the stall and meditate and just get myself back together. But
Right.
here's my little tip.
No, that works.
I
Like leave
totally,
leave me alone. I mean,
yeah,
like
I know. Give me 5 seconds. Yeah.
And
Even,
I think that's a good thing too, because sometimes it could be the universe attesting you that are you loving yourself. So when you have moment like
absolutely.
people following in the bathroom, are you going to entertain her? Are you going to tell her, you know what,
Yeah.
that's my private
Yeah.
space, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and mothers who work, working mothers, this would work really well,
right,
for just take a couple of breaths, take a break. If
yeah,
if if the kids are busy playing with a toy and you've just gotten off the phone, give yourself a minute,
yeah.
right?
Exactly. Put yourself in a body, and it's no good, right? When you're emotional reactive, that's not good for your children as well. You
Yeah, yeah.
probably just getting um cranky, and then just take it out. Like I used to, like, yeah, when I in my old self in a corporate job, like I used to be really cranky sometimes. It's just then because you're just ignoring yourself and your soul is screaming at you. That's
Oh,
why,
yeah.
you know.
Not that person. That's not who I am. But yeah, yeah. But this is a beautiful tip. Yeah. So everyone could use that tool. I could use that reminder. I'll call you up next time I get stressed. Elaine, what was that tip? Number.
You know what to do, of course, Nancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think tied to that is I mean, we can talk about more tips, but at the end of the day, also the body, it's also a spiritual compass that tells you a lot about what you're doing. So
Mm,
I think one of the common observations I observe from myself and the people that I'm helping out is they're disconnected from the body a lot of times.
right.
So that's actually not good, because like you're not like a machine.
Right. Well, absolutely right. I have noticed, and you mentioned a little bit about using your intuition, listening to your body.
Right.
It's very difficult to use your intuition and listen to your body when you're up here, like going 1,000 miles. And so this is important to slow this down. It's important to take a breath. So how does intuition work in with what you do?
Okay, so it's funny. Obviously, I knew nothing about intuition. So my first coaching school that I went to, it's about intuition. That's where I got my basis on. But
Uh-huh.
over time, then it's just because with my own journey and inner work, it's developed into something else. But that's the baseline way back when I was really stressed. So to the ladies, if you want to connect to your intuition, if you want to connect to yourself, you cannot have people hanging around you all the time. For example, like people following you into the bathroom, and you cannot keep distracting yourself with all this stuff. You need solitude timed for you to connect to intuition, and you cannot have 9 coffees and thinking you can connect to your intuitively, right? It's just
I love that. No, you can't have 9 coffees and use
no,
your intuition.
no. It's just overstimulus. But I'm just making it like dramatic, right? But it's like if you're constantly on the phone, constantly distracting yourself, um, so intuition definitely you need a clear head, because imagine like
Right.
there's a band playing drums beside you. How can you listen to yourself when you have all this background noise going on?
I know.
Because you need to
Yeah.
actually go from the mind to your heart and to your soul,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
And hear that
absolutely.
inner voice, right? So you need a moment of stillness, quietness, and solitude.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
so agree with that. I so
yeah,
agree with that. And social media is one of the biggest interrupters of us connecting to ourselves. When we've had a really bad day, I find, and I watch, people around me, will part of unwinding is just scrolling through whatever they're going to scroll through, and it's not unwinding them. It's not getting them to connect back into themselves. It's taking them away from, and which is a great break. Just take me away from all of this. But sometimes we need to not get taken away. We need to sit quietly with what it is. And how does that fit in with you?
It's very addictive though. I'm part of guilty of that too.
Yeah,
I think I tune in my TikTok account, even though all I listen is all the spiritual stuff. It's positive, right? Like I'm not
absolutely. Yeah,
tuning in some celebrity or entertainment news,
yeah.
but because I think the whole social media just exemplified in real life, right? Like people maybe put on a fake mask pretending to be something
Well,
else.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then all these videos getting
yeah,
shorter and shorter, your
yeah,
attention span
yeah.
becomes shorter and shorter, and
It's
that
true.
takes away from us because
Yeah,
and it triggers all the bad feeling too because you keep comparing yourself when you look at social media and
you
looking at
do.
people. It's like, oh, they're
Yeah,
living the best life. No, they're not going to show you when they're crying behind scene.
they're pretending. Yeah. Oh no, they're
Yeah.
not pretending. That's where they are, and it's wonderful to see these different things. And I'm not bashing social media because it's such an important informer, but sometimes we have to inform ourselves first.
Yeah,
But
it's not
but
the tool itself that's the issue. It's just
yeah,
exemplified what we are. So if we
yeah,
are keep
yeah.
distracting ourselves, we just distract more.
It's
Um,
important to pay attention. How much am I distracting myself? What am I
yeah,
trying to not deal with, or something like that?
yeah.
But
Like what I find the most distracting thing is it's okay when you have nothing to do, right? But when you falling short on your life goals or even spending decent time with your family. So I find it sometimes if I have important um, project deadlines up coming up, I'll just put the phone away so it's not reachable. It's not that
yeah,
temptation, and then I
yeah.
have to walk like 5 stairs to get the phone, and maybe that's one of the option.
I had a friend who she did a lot of creative work, a lot of creative writing, and she said, if I'm sitting on the couch staring at the wall, I'm working. Leave me alone. And that quiet creative space.
Right.
If we have a huge project we need to solve, um, loving ourselves enough to take that break and stare at that wall and say, what do we got inside of ourselves? What do we got for this? Is that I think the busy woman or the busy person doesn't think, well, what else is there? Or what are the other options? You
Mhm.
see?
Now we bring the awareness to all the ladies. Now they can next time when they pick up the phone and very naturally scrolling, then they can have this thought. Now it's like, okay, what am I doing here?
I
What am
was,
I distracting
yeah,
myself? Am I trying to
uh,
procrastinate? Or it actually,
yeah.
there's a lot of reflection you can have, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was scrolling one night. I don't know what was in my head. I was trying to figure something out and I was scrolling and I was looking for, and I realized there's no end to this. I'm waiting for it to say, and this is the conclusion and this is the end. And I'm like, realized, put this thing down. It's like, what do you need to do? And then I went into journaling. I picked up a journal and I just said, this is what's mucking around in my head. And I just
Mhm.
got to get it down. And things went better after that. But
Yeah. Because you have all this, I think people try to suppress the emotions. But with journaling, you are actually dumping out your thoughts or any stuck
right.
emotions and materialized it on paper, right? So
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly, exactly. What are some other things that you will look at a client and they're coming to you, and what else do you help them with?
A big thing that I've mentioned it's the mastering the emotional intelligence, right? So that's how because all my spiritual warfare life journey, it's about people trying to trigger my emotions. So um, my old self, it's like a person easily triggered,
Hmm.
and that gift when people try to manipulate you, and they push you to that volcano point, then your volcano erupted, and everybody look at the volcano eruption, and they forgot what happened before. So now you are the villain,
I
right?
know. It's like,
So
yeah. Well, how did that happen? Right.
right, and the person who doing the sneaky thing and just get away with it. So and I think with all the lifestyle thing, we can be emotional reactive. So that's part of the my self mastery piece, helping the ladies to get get the emotional together. And if you run into, especially people like they could be energy vampire, they could be
Mm.
toxic, or they like to entangle you or siphon your energy. So what
Oh,
do you do and in response to those situations? I guess one advice I can give it to the audience is try to treat your energy more valuable than the money that you have. Energy is the most expensive currency that
yes.
you have. And you got
Yeah.
to think clearly as to if you want to preserve yourself and be powerful and master yourself, you need to think of which energy that I'm going to give it to which what task or what people,
Yeah.
right? Because we people don't realize all these things are taking away our power and energy, like right, the social media,
Oh,
the
yeah.
people or the needy parents, right? Um, so where you want to go towards, and you got to know what your energetic boundaries and
Yeah.
what time and what things you're spending on your energy.
Yeah.
So
And boundaries and protection and discernment and all of that. And some people, women, or both men and women, need to break free of those patterns, but they need to have confidence to do that. It's a bridge that how do you create that bridge for them? Is it
that's the
little,
self-love piece that come in. Because if you don't have self-love, it's hard to, like, even, as a coach, I suggested you're not going to do that, right? So the self-love part is really important. And usually with my signature program, Thrive Confidence Self Mastery, the first few modules that I help them out is to get back to themselves, understand themselves.
mhm.
So they build a strong sense of self. So they have help them to actually build a strong awareness, self-awareness. Because if you don't have that, it's hard to say no, and it's hard to evaluate what is
Mhm.
important to you, right? And what your soul decide. You have to look at it, and you have to look at what are your thoughts and feelings, all kind of stuff. So it's hard that if people haven't done work and the first modules that I ask them, oh, you know what, why don't you set a boundaries with your family? That's not going to happen. That requires you
Oh,
to raise your
yeah.
consciousness vibration, and at some point you have enough self-love that you will not betray yourself. Like you
And
you
that,
just can't.
and that takes time,
Right.
right? That takes time before the big steps, baby steps.
Right.
Um,
So I think there's some unlearning that I help them to do to unlearn some of the conditioning they have. So one of the big part is I realized that at work I was, why am I overachieving? It's to seek validation. And people are not aware. They think like, what's wrong with me? I'm trying to prove how good I am. Very common belief it's, that's my performance. I'm trying to show, but they go on a nonstop chasing games and they're never fulfilled, and they're just at the point just trying to get the validation that they never received
yeah.
from the parents. So some of them
Yeah.
I bring to the awareness, then that now they see that they're actually driven by this kind of pattern instead of loving themselves.
Oh, that's a huge pattern. That is just a huge pattern to acknowledge and work from it from another point of view. I love people with drive. They change the world. They make things happen. It's just that sometimes they forget about the people around them. They're so
Yeah,
driven, and those sometimes they're not the most nurturing people in the world either. And but they miss out. That busy person misses out on receiving nurturing.
yeah.
They haven't watered their own flowers, kind of thing.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's all come from a lack of self-love,
Right.
and you can
Right.
express that how deeply you meet yourself is how deeply you can meet another person, right? So, um,
That's a
and
huge one. That's a big one to realize. It really is. Because
yeah,
again,
so I had a hard time because when I work on so much, then I deeply meet myself, but I have people in my surroundings they don't. So no matter how much you try to explain, they're not going to
Mhm.
get it because they're not meeting themselves at that point yet. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. Um, so you have a 13-week Thrive Confidence Self Mastery program. You could tell us a little bit about that?
sure. So I think I've touched base a little bit. So
A
that's my
little bit,
signature
yeah.
program, and that's the whole design of the program is mirror on my life journey. So I bring the ladies in instead of me has to figure out what to do on my own. I squeeze out all my wisdoms and my spiritual lessons within that 13 modules and make it a structured program so they can go through. And the program has 4 pillars, boosting the confidence, master the emotional intelligence, and help them to tap into like creativity, and then also help them to align the body, mind, and soul.
I love that.
So yeah, so after the program, they come out as a very different person. And obviously sometimes they come into my program because they run into a setback. There's certain pain point brought them into the program. But after they come out of the program, they have a different life perspective. But that's not what I
Beautiful.
help. I can help their immediate problem, but then they after the program they tend to see things now from a very high level perspective and realize there's more than just whatever they focus at that point. So
Oh my goodness. That's fantastic. That's
yeah.
fantastic. Um, and they can find out, you said they could reach you through your website and
Right.
make an appointment with you. You'll talk more about it.
Right. Yeah. Book a call. It's a free call, and and whether you go ahead to work with me or not, you can still walk away with some confidence or spiritual wisdom. Why not?
Oh, that's
Just
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
beautiful. Um,
And I actually do have my immersive line. There are 2 other programs, help people
oh, yeah.
have a deep self-discovery. So there's one without coaching. It's just like an immersive guided meditation experience, but it's a 6 section that they can go through a different journey with the script, but they after that they can work on something. So if they're stuck at a crossroad in life, they can go through that as well to find out what. And I love that part because that part there's no coaching from me, there's no intervention from me. Like I guide them through, but they can actually truly deeply connect with themselves intuitively and find out
Oh, I like that.
what the next step is. So that's a gift that I go with my meditation teacher. That's the 2 gifts that I have. And the other one is actually help them to step into the dream life.
Mm.
If they're ready to do it, then I help them to shift their identity, maybe from the underdog to the to the chosen one. So
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
that's so I'm looking at some of these ideas that you've been talking about, and what's one shift that listeners can make if they feel overlooked or underestimated? So those people listening now, what's one shift they could make?
Right. That's key. The one shift is to stop focusing on the external environment or what
Hmm.
people telling you. Come back to yourself
Hmm.
and know your value, because a lot of people externally they may try to, so whether people saying they like you or dislike you, or whether people they validate you or not validate you or put you down, has nothing to do with you.
Okay.
People are projecting their own like or dislike or their
Yeah.
opinions on you. So just shut down from the outside world, because most of them are actually illusion. And that's the spiritual truth. The reality is actually the illusion. The
Yeah.
truth is within you. So you got to find your own truth as
Truth.
to
Yeah.
who you truly are, and then not be afraid to be yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Authenticity. So
Yes, absolutely. Authenticity. Um, don't take them personally. They're not that important. You're important.
right.
And like that's huge. Yeah. And then please share one truth. You can share as many truths as you want to our listeners. You've talked about the illusion, you've talked about um, struggling with the outside, and it's not going to make you happy. But what, share another truth of what you
True.
find.
Right. So that's my coaching tagline. Your truth will set you free.
Mm,
Right. So once you realize, so your truth. So, usually, the general line is the truth will set you free, but my tagline is your truth will set you free. So you have to find your own truth. So my truth is not the truth, like Elaine saying certain things, but that's my truth. So, and
hmm.
that's all my offerings at the end catering, just want them to find out their own truth. Because once you find your truth, you can set yourself free from all the bondages, all the chains that tie you back, and then you can break free,
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely.
right? Just like a butterfly, and live as a free spirit. That's your soul is the happiest, right?
It is. It truly is.
Yeah.
And I want to add, it's not one and done. It's a practice. When people say, I can't meditate, well, that's why they call it a practice. But this one truth that's within you, it's a process or a practice or what would you say to that? What?
Well, and that's why we have coaches and people helping you out. We have, psychic medium like, Nancy. If you can't do it yourself, then reach out to a professional and help you out. Because a lot of my clients, I help them when they were in the most difficult time. But I expect once they step out from my program, they grew up to be you got to have the discipline. I cannot like babysit you for for your whole life, right? But at that time, they will have enough self-love, then
It will
they will
continue.
start changing the lifestyle or pursue something
Absolutely.
else, right? So
I love
if you
hearing
find hard time meditating, then come to me. Then I have the perfect program. Then I can walk you through some deep meditation and you invest in it. So you have to actually commit to it, right? Like if you go on free program, you definitely it's hard to for people who have that discipline. I couldn't do it though. Like if I don't have those mentors helping me, I don't think I
Mhm.
can do it alone. So
We all need people. We all need people
right,
the right people
right.
to facilitate us, to help us gently move to that next place we want to be. Um, and sometimes we don't know what that next place we want to be really is.
Right.
So we do need to have somebody help us find our vision. Um, I didn't never want it to be this busy. I never wanted to be this crabby. What's going on? Kind of, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
having Elaine help or finding an intuitive person or whatever. It's so important not to live our lives in isolation, which is why I love bringing people like Elaine on the show. So,
Oh, thank you. I love your show too, Nancy.
um, is there anything else that you'd like to add to your best people out there that are listening?
Sure. Maybe I'll speak my soul mission message at this time is, and that's what I'm feeling deeply strongly too. So my message is whether you are not, you think there's no way out, or you think you're stuck, or you think you're not where you are at, or you think people undervalue you. My message is don't give up on yourself because the chosen one is the one who is the unexpected winner. And as long as you don't give up yourself, you choose yourself, then at the end you will walk across the rainbow bridge. It will come, but you have to choose yourself first, and the universe is waiting for you. When you undividedly choose yourself, universe will bring in whatever you need to bring you on the other side. So,
Oh, that is beautiful.
right,
Absolutely. Choose yourself. And I also want to add, because it's so beautiful to say that there's really not much to add, is the universe is waiting for you, but the rest of humanity is waiting for you. We're at such a tipping point of which way are we going to go? When we show up for ourselves, when we find our inner truth, the way Elaine talks about it, we actually give the universe or give the humanity, not the universe is all they're good, but give humanity another option that they didn't see. So
right,
when you help yourself, you're helping more than, don't even think about the rest of the world when you're helping yourself, just help yourself. But when you help yourself, when you show up, you're showing up for everybody.
right.
It's needed. So if you need that other motivation to get you going, try it. But just your own happiness, right?
It's the more even we're in the field of helping people, right, Nancy? It's
Yeah.
always we ourselves come first. We're not like sacrificing ourselves just to help people.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely. We couldn't teach if we didn't love ourselves, and it's never perfect. We trip up on all kinds of things, and then we learn. Um, we have to love ourselves in order to be able to give to those people that we're helping.
right.
So there's no cheat sheets on that one. So yeah.
We have to walk the talk and show them as a role model, right? So, yeah.
Absolutely. So you're doing some beautiful, beautiful work here, Elaine, and
Thank you.
I really wish you the very best. Elaine is available to all of my, the listeners, whether you're listening to in the podcast or on YouTube or live on Facebook. Elaine Yuen is available, so give her look her up on her website, which is ElaineYuenConfidence.com. And you said
Okay.
if you just Google Elaine Yuen, it's Yuen Confidence, you'll find her. She's on.
Right.
And,
There's
and
a few publications on me, so yes. Yeah.
very good. And
Okay.
then also, she's on Facebook.
Right.
So don't use this as an excuse to say, I don't, who was she? I can't get in touch. If you feel that she resonates with you, please contact her and go a little bit deeper. It's worth it. Give yourself that gift.
Right.
And
Give yourself a chance.
absolutely.
Mm.
So I think that's it for this episode. I want to thank everybody for listening in. And if this resonates with you, uh, please like and share this, whether on YouTube or on podcasts, subscribe. All of your love will help me to keep doing these episodes and get them in front of more and more people. And so that's your contribution of helping other people too. So thank you everybody for joining us in this episode, and we will see you next time.
Thank you for joining the Angelscapes podcast. We hope you've gained new insights and inspiration for your journey to uncover and access your soul's power. For more information and a deeper dive into finding clarity in your life, go to angelscapes.com. Remember to subscribe so you can be part of the discussion. It may just change your life. See you next time.